everybody, this is Rosie, and today I'm going to be sewing a travel size tissue case. So let's get started. First, let's take a quick look at the project. The cases were designed to hold a travel size package of Kleenex tissues. The front bands overlap and the box corners were designed to form these cute little triangles at each end. There are no raw edges anywhere inside or outside of the pouch, and the pouch is actually completely reversible. I have one here made with a different fabric on the interior. If I take out this tissue case, you can take a look inside. You'll see that there's no seam down the center of that pouch. And you can take it and turn it to the other side, and now you can use it on the reverse side. I thought that these cases would be really cute as a set, so I made one to match the mini box zipper pouch. I do have a video on how to make that, and I will link to it. And then I went ahead and made another one that matches the continuous zipper pouch. And again, I do have a video for this one, and I will link to that in the description below the video. So now let's move on to the materials needed to make the project. I'm using 100% cotton quilting fabric for the tissue case, and there is no need for any interfacing in this project. You'll need two pieces of fabric that are 5.5 inches high by 1.5 inches wide. Then you'll need two more pieces of fabric that are 5.5 inches high by 6.5 inches wide. You'll need some Steam-A-Seam 2 tape. This is 1/4 inch wide. We're going to use this to close up the opening that we create to turn the tissue case right side out. If you don't want to use Steam-A-Seam tape, you can always use a needle and thread to close that opening. I'm using a general all-purpose sewing thread. This is an Aurifil 50 weight thread. You will need a rotary cutter along with a cutting mat and a gridded ruler. You do need a marking tool. I will be using a friction pen in the video, and once again, while these marks will disappear with heat, they do come back with cold, so always be very careful if you're using a friction pen. I only use them in videos for demonstration purposes. You need a point turner, some Wonder Clips, or some straight pins for pinning your project together. We're going to start with the larger pieces, and we want to mark some lines on the wrong side of the fabric. We will be marking these lines parallel to the 5.5 inch side. The first line that you're going to mark will be 1.25 inches up from the bottom. And then the second line that we mark will be 2 inches up from the bottom. After you have these lines marked, you're going to flip it around and mark the same lines on this side. So you mark one line 1.25 inches up from the bottom, and the second line will be 2 inches up from the bottom. And after you have this first piece marked, you'll go ahead and mark the second piece in exactly the same way. After the lines are marked, we want to fold back on each one of those lines and press them into place. I like to start by folding and pressing in the inner lines. When you're done pressing the lines on this side, you'll flip the piece over, and then you're going to press in the lines on this side here. Now you can see how my second one here disappeared because of the heat, but I have enough there where I can still fold it back and press it. And then when you're done ironing the lines on this piece, you'll go ahead and do the same thing on your second piece. I have my folds all pressed into place, and now I want to take the two accent pieces, and we're going to fold these wrong sides together along that long edge. So you want to bring those raw edges together, fold it completely in half, and then press. And you'll do this again to both pieces. Next, we'll pin the accent piece to one side of the main piece here. Now this is the 5.5 inch side on both pieces, and you want to make sure that you have raw edges together. Make sure that you're not pinning your fold to that raw edge on the larger piece. So just pin or clip that in place. And then you can take the second piece here and clip this to the opposite side of the accent piece so that you're sandwiching that accent piece in between the two larger pieces. After we have this clipped, we're going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam all the way across the top with a stitch length of 2.5. I'm sewing on a Juki DDL 8000A. This is an industrial straight stitch machine, but you do not need an industrial machine to sew this project. I will be sewing a 1/4 inch seam with a stitch length of 2.5, and you want to backstitch at both ends. After sewing the seam, you can go and heat set it with the iron, and then you'll open the piece up and place your wrong sides together. You want to make sure that these two edges here are even with each other. So I'll put a couple of clips in just to temporarily hold that for me. And then we want to press the accent along the seam line with your seam allowances going this way. Just pull it out nice and straight and then give it a good pressing. And I do like to press it from both sides. After you have that pressed, I'm going to take out these clips and we're going to open this up. And we're going to clip the second accent piece to the opposite side. And then we'll be sewing this with a 1/4 inch seam in the same exact way that we did before. You do not want to be clipping this side on yet. You want this side to stay free. I'm sewing that second accent piece on now. We'll do it exactly as we did before with the 1/4 inch seam and the 2.5 inch stitch length, and backstitch at both ends. Go ahead and heat set that seam. Then you'll take a piece of Stema seam tape that's about 3 inches long and just set that down in the middle right above that seam line. And you'll press it into place. Now there's paper on the opposite side here, so you will not expose the glue on the Stema seam 2 until you take this paper off. We're going to leave that paper on for right now. And what we'll do next is take this end and bring it up to the top here, meeting those raw edges. We're going to stitch this down, but we're going to leave about a 3-inch opening in the middle. So what you'll want to do is start at the end and stitch in about 1.5 inches. So I'll put a mark there, about 1.5 inches in. Then you'll scoot over to this side and start at a second mark right over here and sew 1.5 inches for this section. And this section in the middle will be left open. As I sew this seam, I want to follow my previous line of stitching. So I'll start over here and backstitch, and then I'll stitch up to the blue line and I'll backstitch here. Then I'll cut off my thread and I'll scoot over to the second blue mark, backstitch, stitch to the end, and backstitch again. heat set that seam, and you can see right here we have that opening that we left, and we want to take this now and turn it so that the wrong sides of the fabric are together. And then on the side that you just sewed down with the opening, once again you want to pull that accent piece away from the main panel with your seam allowances going this way and iron that down. You don't have to worry about ironing over the steamer seam because it still has that protective paper over the glue. And then you'll do the same thing on this side. After it's pressed, you're going to turn it again with the right sides together. And what you'll see is that you have two folds on this side, a seam, and then the two folds. And the same thing on the opposite side. The two folds, the seam in the middle, and then the two folds. We need to now bring all of these folds together. So starting on one side, you'll take the fabric and fold it where it was creased with the iron, and then you'll bring the second fold right up to it. And you want to make sure that you have these folded edges nice and even with each other. Then after you have those two folds together, you're going to go ahead and pick up the ones on this side and match them up with the ones on the other side of the seam. Again, make sure that all of those folds, the top of the folds, are together. And then you'll pick up the last one here, the fourth one, and do the same thing. Once you have them all together very nicely and nice and even, you can go ahead and put a clip in there to hold them in place. Then do the same exact thing on this side. Fold up that first line, bring the second one up to it, then you'll bring the two on the other side of the seam up as well. And then you'll clip everything in place. Once that's clipped, you'll flip it over, and then you're going to do exactly the same thing on the opposite side. So you have the two folds here, the seam, and then the two folds. So you'll start bringing all of those folds together. Now I have all four folds clipped together on each side. And this next step is pretty important. You want to pull this back for a second. And you can see how these accent pieces are overlapping. So the left side is overlapping on the right side, and that's good. So we'll put a little clip in there to hold all of that in place. And then you want to look on this end. You want to make sure that the left side is overlapping on the right side. Now, it doesn't really matter which side is overlapping which side, as long as they're the same on both sides. You don't want to have one overlapping on the left side and one overlapping on the right side. Now that we have all of that in place, we're just going to sew right across the top edges here. So we'll sew across here and across here with a 1/4 inch seam and a stitch length of 2.5. I'm going to sew that first seam, and I do want to back stitch. And then I'm going to flip over and do the same exact thing on this side. Now that we have those side seams sewn up, you want to go ahead and just clip those corners. Be careful not to clip into your stitches. And then you're going to open up these sides and find your opening. So this side, there should be no opening, and the opposite side should have an opening. You're just going to reach in and turn the entire piece right side out. The lining needs to be tucked down inside, and I like to stick my finger in and pull those triangles out. Do that on all 4 sides. And then you're going to go ahead and find your opening, and you're going to pull this paper off. And that's going to expose the glue on the other side of the steamer seam. And then you can just fold that edge right up to the sewing line and go ahead and heat set that steamer seam in place to close that opening. And you always want to follow the manufacturer's instructions for heat setting. And you just want to make sure that your lining is nice and smooth in there. I like not having that center seam. And then you can take your point turner and help point out or turn out those little triangle corners a little bit nicer. And then you can go ahead and take your package of tissues and stuff it in. Some people like to take the plastic off and just put the tissues in. I like to put it in with the plastic on, but that's totally up to you. Well, I do hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. It's a very, very fast and fun project, and it's a great way to use up all of those scraps. I want to sincerely thank everyone who has supported me by liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. If you're not already a subscriber, I really would love to have you as one. So please like and subscribe.